Good day, everyone. In this video, we will be exploring the federal departments and statutory bodies in Malaysia, examining their roles, functions, and contributions to the country's administration and development. Malaysia is a maritime nation with more than 4,700 kilometers of coastline, strategically positioned along the Strait of Malacca, one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. Because of this geography, Malaysia is not only a trading nation, but also a vital maritime hub that links regional producers and global markets. Worldwide, over 80% of international trade moves by sea, and in Malaysia, approximately 98% of total trade is carried by ship, making maritime transport the backbone of the national economy. Every ship and container Malaysian ports reflects a coordinated network of federal departments and statutory bodies, ensuring maritime operations are safe, efficient, and globally compliant. But who manages this vast and complex maritime network? Let's begin with the Ministry of Transport Malaysia, MOT. MOT sits at the apex of Malaysia's maritime governance structure. It is responsible for formulating and regulating national transport policies for land, air, and sea sectors. In the maritime domain, MOT leads the development of policies governing shipping, port operations, maritime security, privatization, and compliance with major international conventions such as SALAS, MARPOL, and UNCLOS. The legal foundation for Malaysia's maritime jurisdiction is the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, MSO 1952. Sections 5 to 7 empower the minister to declare ports and navigable channels, defining Malaysia's maritime jurisdiction. Section 8 outlines the roles of the Director of Marine and Harbor Masters, while Sections 9 and 10 cover the appointment of port officers, port health officers, surveyors of ships, and radio surveyors who enforce maritime regulations. Sections 18 to 23 regulate ship registration, ownership qualifications, documentation, ship surveys, tonnage measurement, and vessel marking. These sections ensure that all vessels operating in Malaysian waters meet safety standards, maintain accurate ownership records, and comply with regulatory documentation. Human resource control is another major responsibility of MOT. Part 3 of the MSO 1952 governs seafarer regulation, ensuring that only qualified and protected crews serve on Malaysian ships. Section 71, Safe Manning Requirements. Section 73, Minimum Age of Seafarers. Section 74, Certification of Competency. Sections 101 to 107, Health and Safety Requirements for Seafarers. These provisions ensure that only qualified and properly trained crews operate Malaysian ships. Maritime safety and security form the strongest link between MOT and the maritime sector. Under Part 5 of the MSO 1952 provides detailed powers for maritime transport safety and security, such as appointment of maritime transport security officers. Sections 249G to 249J, Issuance and revocation of security certificates. Sections 249K to 249M, pre-arrival notification requirements for vessels. Section 249O, empower to direct or block ships posing security threats. Sections 249S to 249T. These provisions ensure effective responses to potential maritime security incidents. Sections 249AF to 249AO strengthen MOT's oversight through mandatory safety management systems, SMS, master's duties concerning safety and pollution, appointment of designated persons ashore, requirement for documents of compliance and safety management certificates, investigative powers of the Surveyor General, 249, and Minister's power to enforce maritime safety, 249AO. To enable continuous regulatory control, Section 519A authorizes the Director of Marine to issue Malaysia shipping notices, providing updated technical or administrative instructions for shipping, navigation, maritime safety, and pollution. Additional powers under Sections 522 to 525 grant powers to inspectors and surveyors of ships for inspections, investigations, summoning crew and documents, detaining ships, and enforcing compliance with maritime law. Additionally, MOT issues domestic shipping licenses, DSLs, that regulate ships operating in Malaysian waters, ensuring all vessels meet national safety and operational standards. Domestic shipping refers to the use of vessels, other than fishing vessels, within Malaysian waters or the exclusive economic zone, EEZ, for transporting goods or passengers between Malaysian ports or between Malaysia and the EEZ. This system is regulated through Part IIA, Domestic Shipping of the MSO 1952. The foundation begins with Section 68 are definitions of domestic shipping, authorized officer, domestic shipping officer, board, and license. Section 68S prohibits non-Malaysian ships from engaging in domestic shipping without approval. Section 68T requires all vessels to obtain a domestic shipping license, DSL. Section 68U exemptions for specific ship categories. Section 68V Minister may authorize foreign ships when Malaysian tonnage is insufficient or operations serve national economic needs. Section 68W and 68X Application and information requirements. Section 68Y and 68Z Revocation and appeals. Sections 68AA to 68AC Enforcement and register. Sections 68AD to 68AJ Domestic Shipping Licensing Board. The DSL framework protects Malaysia's cabotage policy and strategic control of domestic shipping. The Malaysia Marine Department operates as the Central Maritime Authority entrusted with the supervision, control, and enforcement of all matters relating to merchant shipping within the country. Its legal foundation is firmly rooted in the MSO 1952, which sets out a broad spectrum of responsibilities that shape Malaysia's maritime governance, safety, and regulatory structure. Under Section 8 of MSO 1952, the Director of Marine oversees merchant shipping nationwide. Harbor masters and port officers manage port operations and ensure maritime safety. Surveyors appointed under Section 10 conduct ship surveys, tonnage measurement, equipment inspections, and radio certifications. Sections 12 to 17 establish the Malaysia Ship Register and Malaysia International Ship Register. Sections 54 to 63 empower Malaysia Marine Department to issue vessel licenses and take enforcement action against non-compliant vessels, but a major responsibility of the department is the regulation of domestic shipping. Under Part IIA, the Domestic Shipping Licensing Board supervises the issuance, renewal, revocation, and monitoring of the Domestic Shipping License, DSL. This system ensures that non-Malaysian ships are restricted from engaging in domestic shipping unless granted permission, thereby protecting Malaysia's cabotage policy. In port operations, the Marine Department's authority is strengthened through Part 13, where port officers control anchorage, beardage, crew presence, port clearance, removal of obstructions, and enforcement of port rules. These operational controls maintain efficiency, discipline, and safety within Malaysia's busy maritime gateways. The Director of Marine may issue Malaysia shipping notices under Section 519A, allowing for rapid adaptation to global standards and operational needs. The Maritime Institute of Malaysia, MIMA, is a government-established policy research institute focused on Malaysia's maritime interests. Established in 1993, it supports maritime policymaking through research, analysis, and international engagement. MIMA's research activities are organized through 5 specialized centers: Coastal and Marine Environment, Maritime Security and Diplomacy, Straits of Malacca, Maritime Economics and Industries, and Ocean Law and Policy. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA, serves as Malaysia's frontline maritime law enforcement authority. Established under Section 3 of its Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency Act 2004, the MMEA is led by a Director General, Section 4, and staffed by authorized enforcement officers, Section 5. The agency's core responsibilities are outlined in Section 6. MMEA enforces federal law, maintains maritime security, conducts search and rescue, detects offenses, and gathers maritime intelligence. Its expanded functions include anti-piracy operations, anti-drug trafficking, and marine pollution control. Under Section 7, MMEA has the authority to stop, board, search, inspect, and detain vessels, arrest offenders, seize prohibited items, and conduct hot pursuit beyond territorial waters while respecting innocent passage. Sections 9 to 15 govern investigation transparency, officer protection, discipline, identification, and weapon handling. Section 16 would mandate coordination with these agencies, as they are considered relevant agencies under Section 2. Section 17 allows military command during wartime or emergencies. Malaysia's ports form the backbone of the nation's trade and logistics network, serving as major gateways for cargo, passengers, and industrial development. The Ministry of Transport oversees 7 main federal ports: Penang Port, Port Klang, Kuan Yin Port, Kemudian Port, Johor Port, Port of Tanjung Pelepah, PTP, and Bintula Port. Meanwhile, ports in Sabah and Sarawak, except Bintula Port and Labuan Port, fall under their respective state governments. Each federal port operates under a designated act of Parliament, establishing its port authority and defining its governance responsibilities. Penang Port is administered by the Penang Port Commission, PPC, under the Penang Port Commission Act 1955. Port Klang, Kuantan Port, Kemuman Port, Johor Port, and PTP operate under the Port Authorities Act 1963. Meanwhile, Bintulu Port and Labuan Port operate under the Bintulu Port Authority Act 1981. The Act clearly sets out the powers, functions, and financial responsibilities of the authorities involved. This framework ensures that both ports are managed in line with national policy objectives and comply with international maritime standards. Port Authority acts as a regulator and landlord, overseeing compliance, safety, and development, while private operators manage daily commercial operations under long-term concessions agreements. Port regulation and enforcement are also guided by the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952 through the appointment of harbor masters under Section 8, who maintain navigational safety and enforce maritime laws within port limits. Malaysia adopts a dual governance model where port authorities ensure regulatory oversight, safety governance, and maritime compliance, while corporatist or privatized port operators carry out cargo handling, logistics, and terminal operations. This dual structure ensures that regulatory oversight, safety governance, and maritime compliance remain under government control, while cargo handling, logistics services, and terminal operations are carried out efficiently by corporatist or privatized port operators. In the northern region, Penang Port and Teluk Ava Port fall under the management of the Penang Port Commission, PPC, with Penang Port SDN, BHD, PPSB, acting as the principal operator, while Kedah Cement Jetty SDN, BHD, supports Teluk Ava's specialized industrial functions. On the west coast, Port Klang is administered by the Port Klang Authority, PK, and operated by Northport, Malaysia, SDN, BHD, and Westports Malaysia SDN, BHD, reflecting its status as Malaysia's largest cargo gateway. Further south, Johor Port and the Port of Tanjung Pelepah, PTP, are regulated by the Johor Port Authority, with operations by Johor Port Berhad and Pelabuhan Tanjung Pelepah SDN, BHD. On the east coast of Peninsula Malaysia, Kuantan Port Authority oversees Kuantan Port in partnership with Kuantan Port Consortium SDN, BHD, while Kemuman Port Authority governs Kemuman Port with operational activities led by Consortium Pelabuhan Kemuman SDN, BHD. In Malacca, Tanjung Bruas Port is governed by the Malacca Port Authority and operated by Tanjung Bruas Port SDN, BHD. In East Malaysia, Bintulu Port operates under the Bintulu Port Authority with Bintulu Port SDN, BHD, managing LNG and bulk cargo operations. Labuan Port is administered by the Labuan Port Authority and operated by Megaport Management SDN, BHD, MPM, supporting both general cargo and oil and gas activities. Ports in Sabah and Sarawak, other than Bintulu and Labuan, generally fall under their respective state governments. Malaysia's ports function within a comprehensive legal ecosystem that includes the Penang Port Commission Act 1955, the Port Authorities Act 1963, the Bintulu Port Authority Act 1981, the Ports Privatization Act 1990, the Statutory Bodies Act 1980, and supporting rules such as the Federation Port Rules 1953 and Kedah Port Rules 1984. Where specific acts do not prescribe operational procedures, subsidiary legislation under the Merchant Shipping Ordinance regulates anchorage limits, navigation controls, pilotage, and operational requirements. Through this layered framework, Malaysia maintains a governance balance where regulatory compliance, national maritime oversight, and efficient commercial operations work together to support domestic logistics, regional connectivity, and international trade. The Ports Privatization Act 1990 facilitates public-private partnerships, where port authorities maintain regulatory roles while private concessionaires manage terminal operations, infrastructure investment, and modernization.
Thank you for watching this video, and see you soon.